Did you
Yeah.
have any kind of in with Raphael, or is that just something you kind of essentially auditioned for, and they were like, "I like your work, come on in," kind of thing? Like, did you know any of the guys previously, or did you just kind of show up in like a resume portal and they were like, "Looks great, join the team"?
So I tried the resume approach actually. It didn't work back then, and I actually befriended some of the folks there at a bar. We met at a bar, and we eventually went to concerts together and that kind of stuff, So it might sound like I did it, just because it was them, but it was actually genuine, like there was like they were cool people, and I was enjoying hanging out with them. But yeah, sure, I was also like, yeah, that's cool. They're like from Arkane and everything, and there was that kind of dual thing, and at some point they helped me to move from one apartment to another, and at the party that, at the end of the day, they were talking about the company, and they were saying that they were actually looking for QA people at that moment, and I actually mentioned that I applied and I didn't receive any response, and they told me like, why didn't you go through us, for that for that application? And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's I was a bit afraid to do such things, back then.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me that's okay. We can make things move forward and faster. So I still had a test, to run through, several interviews, and yeah, I ended up doing 1 year of QA for Dishonored 2, and then I switched to level design on Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, and then Wolfenstein Youngblood, then Deathloop, and eventually Blade.
Because what I was getting the impression was that you've worn kind of a lot of different hats, like you've got a lot of different specialties that you've been able to accrue. Was that something you kind of had in your back pocket, like before you got into the industry, or is it just sort of a case of like you got to do a bunch of different things as you hit these companies and kind of picked up those skills along the way?
Actually, not really. It's kind of a weird thing. I like doing a lot of different things, and that's what led to Threshold eventually, because working in AAA, you are forced, to do one kind of job in one, lane. You've got your basically you've got your silo, kind of, and you got to stick to it. You can't overstep, because for good reasons, like it can create chaos and everything. And that's actually what made me leave Arkane as well, because I felt like there were so many things that I wanted to touch, and sometimes it's just not possible for very good reasons. So I'm not blaming anyone, but yeah, that's what also drove that will to make a Threshold on the side while I was working at Crytek.